Okay, so today I am here with Mr. Satyanshu Singh, a writer, a director, a teacher. So, sir, one question that I would like to ask you is, how's quarantine taking you? It's been about 2 months that we're all in this lockdown. So, how is it going for you? What have you been doing? What have you been, how's your routine been like?
So the जनता कर्फ्यू डे
हाँ,
22nd of March जब शाम को 5 बजे आपने थाली बजाई थी,
हाँ,
that day was my birthday.
oh,
So this entire thing started quite dramatically with me because it was I like quiet birthdays, but it was the quietest birthday ever. Um, then after a couple of days, the lockdown was announced formally. My wife is a doctor; she's a psychiatrist, but she's also these days she is working in the coronavirus ward and OPD as well in a BMC hospital. So we are witnessing the crisis from very close. Uh, I also studied to be a doctor, so I believe that I
yeah,
know slightly more than layman when it comes to these things. But because of my wife, we get to know things which are quite disturbing. So these 2 months could have been extremely disturbing, but thankfully, after 5-6 days of sadness and staying upset and not knowing what to do, uh, the problem with people like us is that we are neither too rich that we'll do something great, and we are neither so poor that we'll suffer. So we also have a privilege guilt, which is of a very useless kind. मतलब
yeah.
इस privilege guilt का हम करें क्या?
Hmm.
you know तो वो 4-5 दिन का वो गिल्ट था. Then I came up with the idea that I would since I've been teaching for almost 9 years now, I decided that I would conduct online lectures, and I would charge money for that, but all the money would go to coronavirus donations. And then I came up with a plan where the money would so there's complete transparency and people can trust me. So the money doesn't come to me, people directly donate to these NGOs and funds which are helping for coronavirus relief. So over the last 6 to 7 weeks, this has been my life, extremely busy, hectic, because I started alone, and slowly we built a small
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
But it became huge because hundreds of people have joined us, and we have raised more than 17 lakhs of rupees. So this is way more than what I could have done individually, from the money point of view. And apart from the money, there are a lot of things which I had not anticipated. Like students write to me mails saying that when we think back of coronavirus lockdown, we'll think of your lectures, which means people are creatively stimulated and they're positive, and they are doing something that they love doing, which is learning about
Learning.
cinema and writing. So far, this has been my coronavirus lockdown. Just extremely hectic, trying to conduct as many lectures as possible, trying to reach out to as many students as possible, and raise as much money as possible.
So I follow you on Twitter, and I have been following your journey since you being a teacher for First Draft. I've known somebody who's been with you during First Draft. I've taken some of your lectures with First Draft.
Okay.
So like you've come a long way, right? So from First Draft to now doing this, how did this idea come about that you're like, okay, I will try to use my craft and use it in a way that can then later help a greater cause. And then how do you start bringing more people in? I saw you were doing lectures with Shuzit Sarkar, you were doing a lecture on Ramayan. So how did that come across, and how did you come to raising 17 lakh rupees over like such a short period of time?
Yeah, देखो, I really believe that generally people respond to your calls. Generally in life, if you give a call that I want to do something, generally people will join you, people will help you in their whatever capacity. The reason why I believe in this is about 12 years ago, I just completed my MBBS from AFMC Pune, and I had a job in the army. I was supposed to be a doctor in the army, but I decided to come to Bombay and start my life as a filmmaker.
Okay.
And for that, I had to pay a bond money of 15 lakhs of rupees. I didn't have that kind of money. My parents didn't have that kind of money. In fact, no one from my family supported me except my brother and eventually my mom. But it was very difficult. But even in that situation, it was 2008. It was the last recession, just before this recession, 2008, and it was impossible to get even 1 lakh of rupees from, say, ICICI as loan. But then I gave a call, and a lot of my friends from school and college, including Tanmay, they helped me raise these lakhs of rupees 12 years ago. So I had done it once, and I believe that people uh, often trust you. If you have the right intention, people trust you. And these 12 years ago, when I did that, I did this with the help of about 25 friends. Over these last 12 years, I have gained more credibility as a filmmaker, as a teacher. So today I know that there are a lot of people in hundreds who follow me, and there are people in thousands who have watched my films. I had this belief that if I give a call, people would respond. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that I didn't start thinking that I'll raise 17, 20 lakhs. I see that I'll cross 20 lakhs easily because I'm going to conduct these lectures until May 31. So I know that I'll cross 20 lakhs. But when I started, I didn't have this figure in mind at all. I'll tell you what I had in mind. I realized that even if I really push myself, I won't be able to donate more than 50,000 rupees because I don't have money. And if I really start behaving unreasonably, I may somehow donate 1 lakh. But that would be unreasonable because I don't have money. I don't have that much money to donate. So I was not happy with my upper limit. I was not happy with my 100%. If my 100% is 50,000 rupees, I was not happy with it because I am 35, 36 year old. I believe that I'm successful. I don't have money, but I think I'm successful. I have a happy life, you know. Then what have I done with my life if in a social crisis like this, when as a doctor I could have done so much, as a filmmaker, as a teacher, as a student of cinema, why am I limiting myself to 50,000 rupees? That idea was not comfortable for me. Okay. So I wanted to raise that upper limit. So I knew that if I start teaching online, I'll definitely cross 50,000. So I knew that I would donate more than I can otherwise. Okay. And that's why I casually sent out a tweet saying that I want to do this. But within 3 days, 1.4 lakhs were raised. So that is when I realized the enormity of it. You know, what internet and social media has done, that I suddenly started speaking in lakhs, you know, and I wasn't prepared for it. It kept growing big. My work started, building up. It was just so much of work because initially it was all manual. Now we have a website thanks to a few students who volunteered. We now have a website. Initially it was all manual. For the first 4-5 weeks, it was all manual. So just going through emails and receipts and spreadsheets, it was really a lot. It was really hectic. I realized that if I keep doing this on my own, I'll get tired. So I needed a few sessions to be taken by other teachers so that I get time to do other things as in the management part of it. Okay.
Yeah.
That is when I thought of Vinay Pathak, because Vinay Pathak and I, we share a nice, great relationship because of our the film that we did together. So I told him that I need you, and he immediately agreed. And once we had Vinay Pathak, I saw that Anjum Rajawali sir had registered for my lecture. He wanted to attend the lecture as a student. So that really freaked me out because Anjum Rajawali sir is the biggest name in teaching screenwriting. Yeah. And I felt like, oh my God, if he sits in my class, I wouldn't be able to speak anything. So I wrote to him saying that, and we knew each other somewhat, but we didn't have a great relationship. I wrote to him saying, sir, that I'm really nervous that you are going to attend the class. He said, I don't want to make you nervous. If you are not comfortable, I'll not come. But I would donate anyway. I said, that's great, sir, but I'm thinking, why don't you come and teach instead of being a student? Yeah. Why don't you come and teach and join me? And Anjum sir agreed. We had a nice 1-hour Zoom call, and he understood what I'm trying to do, and he immediately agreed. So he started taking care of Sunday mornings. Sunday morning lectures became his. This is how I started thinking that, okay, maybe I can get more people on board. And then I contacted my managers at Tulsi, and I told them that I need more people. And so Tulsi guys started helping me with approaching more people. Of course, then one of the students said that he has worked with Shujit Sarkar. So he said he could connect me with Shujit Sarkar. So things just kept going, and I said yes to everything. And that is how we have reached here. So I believe it is that, and not having a result in mind, because when we have that result oriented drive, it gives you anxiety and it gives you the wrong kind of motivation. I've always believed in the process oriented drive, and that's why I kept working, and today we can say that we have raised a good amount.
After Udan, we heard about Tamash, a film that we know by name. We've seen the poster, but we don't know where it is. We haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I was just going through your email of your classes where you've spoken about how you were going to screen it. Tell us more about the film and the kind of reception it received, because it is you won a national award for that film. And I mean, that is a huge achievement when you look at it. So what went into that? And that was also your first directorial film that received that kind of a response. So what was that like?
So we had made short films before Tamash, which were very bad. Tamash was the first short film that we could share with the world. I believe the film still has many flaws, but we are very proud sharing it with the world because it also has a lot of merits and a lot of hard work and passion and understanding of the medium has gone into the film. We couldn't share the film with the world as of now because we had a deal with a channel in Europe, and the deal expired last year. So now I'm free to share the film with on YouTube or wherever. Before I start talking about Tamash, it is important to let people know that we are showing Tamash as part of the lectures. We will be screening Tamash, and there are a lot of people who have heard about the movie but they have never watched the film. So we hope they come for the lecture, because after watching the film, after the screening of the film, we'll actually take you through the writing and the directing of the film, scene by scene, shot by shot. So we'll actually talk about all creative decisions, including things which don't work for us now, which we realize that we could have done better. So I believe it's going to be a very honest session where people, especially young aspiring filmmakers, can figure out how to find the film that they can share with the world. Frankly, we made Tamash to learn filmmaking because none of the short films before that were any good. So we needed to make a film with as much professional intent and execution as possible. So again, it was not a result-oriented approach at all. It was a process-oriented approach. We went to Kashmir because we had a friend who was willing to help us, and he is a Kashmiri. So he proposed that why don't you come to Kashmir? I'll arrange things for you. Omar Nisar Paul, he was our student. Then he became our AD, and then on the film he became our first AD and also a producer. And if it was not for Omar, Tamash wouldn't be there. We went there thinking that, okay, we believed in the story. The script of Tamash, I still believe that it is one of those beautiful moments in my life when suddenly something happened and it was good. Because in order to create something good, you need to go through a lot of time and rewrites. But Tamash just happened. We went to Kashmir just trying to do our best, not knowing what this will lead to. We spent not more than 3 lakhs on the film. It is a 30-minute film and it doesn't look like a 3 lakh film. It looks like at least a 10 to 15 lakh film. Because my brother Devanshu is very good with production design and costume, and we didn't have any crew, but he did things in such a way that it looked like a bigger film, not a 3 lakh film. And again, the money was contribution from my friends. Yeah. We made the film with a very small crew. We returned and we edited the film. By the time we reached the one decent cut, we started getting good reactions from people, and that's when we realized that perhaps we have something good on our hands. So we decided to spend more on the background score, on sound. We had Foley. Otherwise, we hadn't thought of Foley. We did Foley. We did decent background score. We had a decent color grading, and then we decided to spend on film festivals. I had promised my friend that these 3 lakhs of rupees I will pay back to you somehow or the other. I don't know when, but I will do that. But a few months after Tamash started doing the festival rounds, we started winning awards. We won awards at I think 10 or 12 festivals, and a lot of those awards were cash prize.
Wow.
So we made a lot of money. We made a lot of money. We could pay back all of. I believe that was the turning point in our careers, because the film was received well by the industry as well. So people started seeing us as directors. Chintu Ka Birthday was already written, so people saw us as writers. Now people started seeing us as directors. And it made so much money that our lifestyle changed. We started going to restaurants we would never enter, and suddenly our lives changed overnight almost. The only thing that was still not, the only circle that required closing was my relationship with my dad and my family, and the fact that I had not gone home, I had not returned home. So when in April 2014 National Awards were announced, suddenly that too happened, and my parents came to Delhi on the 3rd of May 2014. That is when National Awards are given. Last 2 years have been difficult, but before that, every 3rd of May, National Awards is handed over. So my parents were there. In fact, a lot of people from my family were there, and they saw Devanshu and me receiving the award from the President of India. And for people from Bihar or a small town in India, this is a huge thing, right? So the very next day, the newspapers in Bihar were publishing things like Bihar ke Gaurav, Satyanshu, Devanshu. I truly believe that the film is, I'm very proud of the film. Winning a national award for a short film is not that big a deal. At least 25 to 30 short films win a national award every year. If we are any good, I think getting into top 25, 30 short films in India, I am not saying that it is easy, but I'm saying that it's not that impossible. I believe that it is a national award, or any award is big because of the doors it opens for you.
Yeah.
For the opportunities that it provides you with. Not necessarily awards are proof of your excellence. I believe there were many films which are perhaps better than our film, but they didn't win the award. So, but yeah, as far as the opportunity is concerned, it did open a lot of doors. People started, there was good media coverage. People started attending my lectures more seriously because the lecture profile read National Award winning filmmaker Satyanshu Singh. We went back home after 7 years. So yeah, Tamash has given us a lot actually. And now I'm glad that we can share the film with the world.
So sir, when I took one of your lectures, I can't forget the way you explained Lagaan and DDLG to me. Two films that are so mainstream that I think everyone has seen, but nobody can give me examples or deductions like you have. So how do you go about, crafting these examples and making your class so much more entertaining by using films that are as mainstream as DDLG and Lagaan? How do you go about that?
We don't have enough literature when it comes to learning screenwriting for the vernacular audience, for the Hindi speaking or regional Indian languages. If I don't know English, if I can't read Sid Field and Robert McKee, then how do I learn film writing? Because it is a craft and we need textbooks. Suppose I have not watched Hollywood films, I have not watched world cinema, then how do I learn these concepts? Even if I know English, but I'm not exposed to that cinema. That's why ever since I started teaching, I decided to use as many mainstream Hindi films as possible in my lectures, because suddenly you start seeing things which you had not seen. So I must tell you that it's a very conscious thing. I believe my love for DDLG has increased once I started using those examples. I believe my love for Lagaan was always there. I have realized that very late through my lectures that perhaps it is high time I accept that Lagaan is my favorite film of all time. What I believe is that these great films, especially films which are very good and also mainstream success, they for me have that killer combination which is most difficult to achieve. That you are not making a cheap film and entertaining the audience and making cheap money, and you are not making a film which is artistic and profound but does not find audience. I believe the tougher part is to make a film which reaches to the mainstream audience and is still a very good film, right? So like Casablanca remains a favorite. Because what Casablanca has achieved, or Bicycle Thieves, or The Matrix, or The Shawshank Redemption. These films have a very strong popular appeal, apart from being a great film. So when I look back at the films I loved as I was growing up, it starts with around Hum Aapke Kaun and DDLJ. It crosses through Satya. It comes to Lagan, and after Lagan, I shifted to world cinema and international cinema because Lagan went to the Oscars. I got to know about the Oscars. I watched No Man's Land and Emily because they were nominated alongside Lagan. So that opened my door to world cinema now. Okay, so I believe we have that nostalgia for our adolescence, for our teenage years, right? And these films became the part of my love, unconditional love. Today, my love for cinema is very different. Back then, it was magical, right?
Yeah.
These films already have that wisdom. I have not really done anything. I have only used these examples to explain concepts which could be otherwise slightly abstract to understand. And also, I have not done all of this at once.
Yeah.
The lecture that you have attended is evolved after several such lectures before that. Like most things I do, I believe that if I work hard and if I stay at it with writes and rewrites, I will eventually take it to a place where it will appear effortless and rich and profound at the same time. That lecture of mine, Fundamentals of Screenwriting, that's my favorite lecture because it has evolved to a stage where it really entertains the audience and gives them some wisdom which they'll never forget, which they'll use whether they are writing a dialogue scene or whether they are structuring their screenplay, they'll always remember those wisdoms. So I believe it is just trying to study these already great films, but also a lot of hard work, a lot of evolution. After every lecture, I keep thinking that shit, अच्छा नहीं हुआ यार, आज अच्छा नहीं हुआ. Even during the lecture, जब मैं ब्रेक देता हूँ, ब्रेक में मेरे दिमाग में चल रहा होता है कहाँ गलत हो रहा है, आज कहाँ खराब हो रहा है. इट्स लाइक अ लाइव परफॉर्मेंस. लाइव परफॉर्मेंस में एक्टर सोचता है ना, या एक स्टैंड अप कॉमेडियन सोचता है कि यार आज ऑडियंस कैसी है.
Yeah, I'm not getting my laughter.
Yes. तो वो करता रहता हूँ throughout. So even during the lecture, I try to do new things.
And so, since we're coming towards the end of this month and also your classes, could you tell us something more about your classes? What's to come in the next 2 weeks, and what do you plan to do, or what is something that you started and is staying because you've got that kind of a response? Could you tell us more?
Yeah, I only know that my classes will end on 31st of May, which means I have 3 weekends. I want to have as many lectures as possible. Realistically speaking, it looks like I'll have 5 lectures per weekend, so about 15 lectures. Anjum sir may take 1 or 2 because he is still interested. I want to repeat all my topics once for the final last time. So I've already started doing that. So like Fundamentals of Screenwriting is already done. I'm not going to repeat it further. But there are a few topics which I'll repeat. For example, developing characters or building your story, things like those, or dialogue writing. Those things I will repeat for one final time because a lot of students joined us late. I had already covered these topics. So for them, I'm still trying very hard to get more people from the industry. So this weekend we have Dylan Mohan Gray, who is Indian-Canadian documentary filmmaker who made Fire in the Blood. We have Sabiha Sumar, who is a Pakistani filmmaker, documentary as well as feature. And we have my friend Hardik Mehta, who made a national award-winning documentary, Ahmedabad Mein Famous. He made Kamyab feature film. So we have these 3 people, and we have the panel is called non-fiction filmmaking, non-fiction storytelling. So we are trying to do curate different kinds of programs. One thing which I know I'm going to do is that on every weekend, I'm going to take a screenplay and study it. So the students will read the screenplay, come for the class, and in the class, I'll go through the screenplay page by page so that students understand how to read a screenplay, but also how to practically apply the theory that they have been learning. So this Friday, we have a discussion on Inside Out. I wanted to start with Inside Out because it talks about human emotions, and my lectures have a very, I always talk about human emotions, importance that we should give to human emotions. more than two ideas and philosophies and themes. So we start with Inside Out, and we'll have two more screenplays after this. So I'm trying to come up with a variety of lectures, but yeah, 31st of May is when we end this journey.
And so, other than the classes, what have you been doing personally to keep yourself busy? What have you been watching? Some recommendations maybe, or something that your students can take back and watch and
Yeah.
study more through it.
Yeah, I just watched, and this is an old thing, but I just started watching Silicon Valley.
Okay.
And I'm amazed how Silicon Valley is like, when it comes to creating comic characters and when it comes to writing comedy, at least whatever I have watched so far, I've watched I think about 7 episodes so far. It is like textbook, so that's a great, I mean, I can do a lecture on Silicon Valley now, because there's so much to learn from Silicon Valley as far as comedy writing is concerned. So that is something that I also have a movie subscription, so I get to watch some great movies. I just watched Portrait of a Lady on Fire through movie. Yes, yeah. There's a Netflix film which I think arrived 2 months ago called The Platform. I saw Anurag Kashyap sir's tweet. He recommended the film and I watched it, and it's remarkable. The film is extraordinary in every sense. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of movies because that's something I can't stop doing. I've been working on my own writing as well. So writing, reading, watching movies, and conducting these lectures. So no rest. It has been tiring, but fun.
Okay, so sir, another thing that I would want to do is, what are the ways that we want to promote these lectures, because it's a great cause, and I think a lot of them should do it, because it's not just a few people. Everyone in one way or the other wants to learn about cinema, and also donating to such a cause which is above us is a great platform. So tell us something more about this.
So just see, I think I really believe, and I wouldn't be so confident if I was making all the money. But in this scheme of things, I believe that it's really amazing. You donate 1,000 rupees to a fund of your choice. We have a short list of funds. You choose a fund of your choice out of that short list, and you pay 1,000 rupees. So see, you already have two gratifications there. One is that you chose, the final fund was your decision. I'm not saying कि इस NGO को पैसा दो, मैं आपको 15-20 फंड्स बता रहा हूँ, उसमें से आप एक चूज कर रहे हो. सो एक तो आपका वहां ग्रेटिफिकेशन है. दूसरा है कि आप किसी को हेल्प कर रहे हो, 1,000 रुपया देकर आप किसी का हेल्प कर रहे हो. ये आपको फायदा हो जाता है बिना लेक्चर अटेंड किए. अब लेक्चर बहुत खराब भी होगा तो ये दो फायदे तो आपके कोई नहीं ले सकता, आपसे नहीं ले सकता ना. उसके बाद when I see so many students returning for more lectures, मतलब कि फायदा हो रहा है. उन 4 घंटों में आपको कुछ मिल जाता है जिससे आपका फायदा हो रहा है. तो आई बिलीव दैट वो तीसरा ग्रेटिफिकेशन है कि आप सिनेमा के बारे में, डायरेक्शन, फिल्म अप्रिसिएशन, फिल्म राइटिंग के बारे में आप कुछ सीख लेते हो, है ना. So I believe that the success of these lectures over the last 6 weeks is an evidence that people are coming and people want to attend these, right? But since we have only 3 weeks left, and I really want to further stretch the limits of what we can do. So yes, we have raised 17 lakhs so far, but over the last 3 weeks, if more people join us, I believe we can do further, right? We can do more. That's why I very sincerely request through you, Jash, I sincerely request my audience that please talk about these lectures. Please, if you have any friend, family member, colleague who is interested in cinema, interested in writing, I hope you tell them about these lectures.
And I think I can vouch for the fact that you're not a terrible teacher, so that is a plus that these guys can, I think, enjoy. So yeah.
Thank you, Jash, for having me here, and for asking those amazing questions. And I hope to see you again.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.